uh, Fat Joe, Joey Crack had some comments about J. Cole when this song came out on the podcast that him and Jadakiss do. We're gonna go ahead and listen into that.
Look at them the same, being that they screwed his head off. We look at them the same, being that they screwed his head off the big three.
Here his bars, all of that shit don't matter.
It's over.
He's coming great.
Let me tell you something, man. They screwed his head off the big three. Is he in the big three?
I don't like that terminology, so give me a pass. But they better screw his shit back on after you.
Listen, I don't look at him the same. He ain't come out. Sometimes you tell me, Joe, you want the 100 million, this, that, you got to say the truth. I don't look at him the same. The fucking sword is dull. I don't care what he spit. I've been listening to him spitting. I always said he's one of the greatest. And all that is irrelevant to me when you talking all that gangster shit and they call you to the yard and you don't step outside. I can't look at you. That's like you seeing the dude who they always told you, and you always thought he was tough. And you see some other king or some smack his cheek off and my bag and walk off. I'm keeping it a buck with you. That's how I look at the
music,
shit.
Man. The music is great.
Hey, do we look?
All right, Stan, what do you think about that?
Fat Joe should know better, man. He too old to be talking like that, man. You sound like some of these idiots out here, man. This is what I've been saying all along. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't care about any of that. All I care about is good music. Who's making the best music? Who's spitting the best? Who's elevating the culture past this coon behavior that we see all the time? I don't care about any of that bullshit with Drake and Kendrick. I don't care. Not at this point. It's over. For me, I'm past all that. I don't care. As long as this nigga is making good music and he's elevating the culture and pushing the culture forward, I don't give a fuck about none of that stuff. And some of these niggas gonna be still stuck on that and do that whole, well, I care. Man, shut up, man. And Fat Joe should know better. But then Fat Joe says dumb shit on that show all the time. That's really why he's not even on there. It's him saying dumb shit and Jadakiss checking him. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. And he should know better. This is about elevating the culture, man. We need this culture, this genre needs to be elevated. It is stagnant. It's been stagnant for like 10 years now. It needs to be pushed forward. Guys like Cole, guys like Kendrick, these guys are pushing the culture forward. This is what we need. We don't need all this monkey bullshit and these niggas and all that stuff. I'm over it at this point. At this point, I'm over all that stuff. I don't care. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to say on records as long as he's making dope ass music. I don't care. He wants to be if he wants to claim to be the best and all that big, man, who gives a fuck about that big three shit, man? Fucking cares. It was cool at the time. It was cool in the moment, but that shit is past at this point. He needs to focus on making good music. He ain't got to worry about competing with no nigga, competing with this nigga, competing with that. Fuck all that shit. Just make good fucking records. Make music that will last and live on past your time. That's what he needs to focus on. And if that's what he's focusing on, that's the best thing for him. And he's going to make good music and people are going to like, oh shit, that was dope. And just leave it at that. If niggas want to keep going back and reliving the past, that's on them. I ain't about reliving the past anymore. It's about moving forward. Again, I get all that. I get it. I know what it was, but yo, I'm not letting that bullshit affect my ability to enjoy his music. And I said that shit when we talked about it a year ago, 2 years ago. I said that shit. I stand by it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Let the nigga make his music. Let the nigga continue to push the culture forward because that's what I care about. I don't care about all that WWE shit. I don't care about that stuff. I care about pushing the culture forward with dope music.
All right. I'm gonna go. I got some disagreement there. I'm gonna go to Kurt. Kurt, what do you think about that?
This is how I feel about it. I feel like this. Fat Joe, regardless of what, man, Fat Joe been around this game you know, since he was in drawers with baby teeth in his mouth. Like hip hop literally originated around the corner from him, bro. Like literally. Cool Herc, Molly Mall, Curtis Blow, Five Fast, the Fab Five, or the Fizz Five or whatever. All of them dudes you're gonna name, they all came through that same particular, it's a particular like a 5 block circumference where they say hip hop was really like cultivated. Like all of those guys would come to a certain area, and Fat Joe was known for that. So he's a remnant of an era that has died. I'm just being honest. What Fat Joe is. He's the last one left. One of the few ones remaining from that era that carries it like that era. So for anybody that's keeping it hip hop, like nah, he was supposed to battle. I'm not. I'm not going like. I'm not mad at Fat Joe because that is from his era of hip hop, from our era of hip hop. That is considered some sucker shit. So if you did some sucker shit, like he said, bro, you can't step out there and then when somebody get ready to retaliate. I'm cool with that because it's from a hip hop standpoint of we battled. Niggas came up. You think Fat Joe ain't never been in the back alley and had to spit bars at niggas? Like you know what I mean? You think Kiss, this is how the Warlocks, before they was the Locks, that's how the Warlocks got found. Battling. Like they was battling. They battled. Kiss be talking about a battle they had with Mace. You know what I'm saying? He was like, after we battled Mace, everybody was like, who is they? Who are those guys? So it's like I'm saying all of that to say this. If it's about hip hop and you say he was supposed to step to the battle and being that he didn't step to the battle, I can't respect him. I'm going to respect that. But it's a lot of people that don't even hold true to our culture themselves. Fat Joe holds true to our culture, to the hip hop culture. He really does. He does say some crazy stuff, and he got some of the wildest stories you'll ever hear. But what I'm saying is, he does stay true to his era of the hip hop culture. He does. So from him, I'm accepting it. But from all of these people that just want to be in the middle and just want to hate them and just want to hop on a bandwagon and that can't even tell you the name of Tupac's first album. You know what I'm saying? If I came, like I always say, if I go in a room full of people and I say the hip hop, the hippie, and somebody don't say to the hip hop, and you don't stop, I rock to the bank. Somebody needs to be able to finish that. You understand? And it's a lot of people that can't finish that. I bet you Fat Joe can finish that. I bet you Fat Joe probably know the whole song from start to finish, even to the chicken tasting like wood. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like coming from somebody who's representing hip hop and staying true to hip hop culture, I'll accept that. But coming from these people who just want to be in the middle and promote drama, they can all go kiss it. So I'm kind of like in the middle. It depends on where it comes from. Because from a hip hop standpoint, I felt like Fat Joe. And from a hip hop standpoint, I still feel like Fat Joe to a certain degree. J.Cole will never ever be the artist that he once was. No matter how much more I support J.Cole, he could never be that guy that he once was because of that. Now he could be this, he could never be a 99 again. You know what I'm saying? You know how you play games and it's like they got Jordan in 2000, but then they got Jordan in 92. He could never be 92 Jordan again. Now he could be 96 Jordan that still three-peated, but he could never be that guy he was in 90. He will forever be scarred by that, no matter how much I love him. Now, I'm not gonna go as far as Fat Joe and say bump him altogether, but he is forever scarred by that. So if it so I'm not gonna be mad at somebody who stays true to hip hop and has that opinion based on hip hop itself. I'm not mad at it.
All right. Before I go, Stan, do you want to respond to that?
Like I said, I understand that part of it, and again, as far as I'm concerned, like I said, he did what he did. Is done. I don't give a fuck. I just don't give a fuck about it. And I think it's more so, of course, I think it more so plays into the fact that I don't give a fuck about the Kendrick Drake thing anymore.
Right.
So for me, I don't care about that shit.
But
All
Stan,
I care,
but
like I
Stan,
said,
hold on.
all I care about.
But
Go ahead.
Stan, you said that, but like in response to like what Kurt was saying, like because it's coming from Fat Joe, it's coming from
I don't
you
give a
know.
fuck who it coming from. I don't give a fuck who it come from, whether it's Fat Joe or whoever. I don't give a fuck who it come from. I mean, Fat Joe. Look, Joe's entitled to his opinion, and again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you he don't know what he's talking about because
Right.
he is one of the living legends that we have. He's been around
Yep.
hip hop for a long time. He's been through all the
Yep.
eras. When all the eras came through, he was in the middle of all that stuff. I don't know if he
Yep.
was in the middle of it like he say he was, but he was in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there. So
Hey, but Stan, can
he,
I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
yeah.
personal question about J. Cole? Do you
Mhm.
think, even though, like I said, I love it, classic, 5 stars, I love the new single. I've heard it about 5 or 6 times in the last day or two, probably. You know what I'm saying? But do you think J. Cole is forever scarred? Like when
No,
Kobe Bryant won 5 championships. We know who he is, the Mamba. But we still remember when he shot those 3 air balls against Utah. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like that? Like forever, like you can't do you what I'm saying is that a scar that can't heal? Now we can still love him, but he is still scarred by that. Do you agree with that statement?
no. Because at the end of the
Okay.
day, nobody gives a fuck about the 3 pointers at Kobe airball.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
talk,
agree.
when, when people
I don't think that was the right metaphor, Kurt.
when
Honestly,
people
yeah.
talk about certain people's careers, they don't mention shit like that. So no, I don't think it's gonna scar him. And then again, I don't care. Yes, it wasn't the best idea. It wasn't what I would have done.
Right,
I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't
right,
have not.
right.
But that's what he chose to do. He chose to apologize. He chose to back away from that stuff because, again, he understood what we know now. This shit is toxic. And that shit ended up being one of the most toxic things that happened to hip hop in a
Actually,
while. In a while. And again, that's what he saw. He knew where it was going to be. And it was toxic. It became divisive. And we don't need that shit in the culture right now. There needs to be unity. There needs to be respect between each other. I understand the whole balance. Again, that balance shit, niggas was doing that back in the 90s, man. This is 2025, bro.
mhm.
26, man.
Still, yeah,
Come on.
hold up. We gotta have battle in those things. Come on now. We
That
gotta
that
have battling.
that balance shit is in the streets with monkeys surrounding and all that bullshit. This is
Oh,
not where
oh,
we are
oh.
now.
That's
This is
crazy,
not,
Stan. That's
this is
crazy.
not where we are
That's
now.
That's crazy.
crazy.
Stan.
We gotta
Cool.
have battling. Battle is essential, dog.
Again, it was cool back in the day. It
That's
was cool
crazy.
to get up and get noticed with that. But this is about pushing the culture forward with dope music that innovates. And that's what he brings to it.
I
So
mean,
for
I agree.
as far as all the stuff with him, that stuff, it's not going to scar him as far as my ability to just pop in his shit and listen to it. I said that back then. I didn't give a fuck about that. I didn't like what he did. I'm not sitting here telling you that what he did was great. I'm not telling you what he did
But
was
we gotta have battling those things.
again that balance shit's for the streets, bro. If that's where you are, cool. But not necessary for guys like J. Cole at this level of their careers to do shit like that if you don't want to do it. Now, granted, again,
Then he
if you
shouldn't have.
do,
See,
no,
now
you shouldn't.
we about to open up a can of worms, Stan. Like,
No, we're
Stan,
not
I
going
don't
to
want to
the
fight you. I don't want to fight you, Stan. I got love for you. I got
No,
respect for you. So I'm not going to say nothing to you that would spark you to want to fight me. You can't say I don't want to battle after you done punt somebody in the face, Stan.
like I
He
said,
like,
it wasn't the best decision. I don't think he should have
okay,
done that.
okay, okay, okay.
But it's not going to affect my ability to judge his music or judge what he says or what he does musically. Outside of that, that's what I care about. The other stuff, if niggas wanted to debate that all day, every day, they could do that, but it's just not something I'm interested in because it's done. It's past. I understand it was a mistake. It's a life lesson. You live and learn. If you don't want to step in the arena, don't step in the arena. If that's not what you want to do, then don't step in that arena. But he understood that this shit was going to be toxic and get divisive and divide people. He knew all that shit. That's why he backed away from it. So that part of it, I understand.
Mhm.
The way he went about it, not what I would have done. But I'm not going to hold that shit against him. That's been my whole thing. I'm not holding that against him.
Okay.
I just
So
want to hear the good music. You know what I'm saying? That's all I
all
want.
right. All right, let me say this. I disagree with one thing Fat Joe said. When Fat Joe says, I don't care what he spit, that's where I disagree because I feel like a song like this, yeah, a song like this, I feel like we should be able to enjoy and not think about that whole thing. Like I wasn't even thinking about that whole thing and I heard this song. Like we should be able to listen to this song and just marvel at the wizardry he does with this song. Like we should be able to do that. Now, it'd be one thing if he made one of them songs. You know what kind of songs I'm talking about, like Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones break my wall, break
Voice of the
bones.
Reaper.
Yeah,
Face of the Reaper.
say my verse on a say my name on a verse of kill. Like, yeah, we can't hear that. That can't happen anymore.
That can't happen anymore.
You can't do any songs like that ever again. But a song like this, we should be able to enjoy. So that's where I disagree with Fat Joe. Um, you made the Kobe Bryant metaphor. I think I have a better metaphor for you, bro. J. Cole is the Kevin Durant of hip hop. He is one of the best, technically one of the best of his era, but
Okay.
there's a scar on his career, which is going to Golden State. Him backing off of that battle is Kevin Durant going to Golden State. It puts a blemish on his record to basketball purists won't go away. Now, to some people, a lot of people don't care about it no more. They just say, Kevin Durant, two-time NBA champion. But to basketball purists, we still view that thing of him going to Golden State as a blemish on his career. And that's why I think about this. This is a blemish on J. Cole's career, and it's never going to go away. I 1000% agree with what you said, Kurt, when you said that he can never be what he was. He can't. He just can't, bro. Like, because this thing is still there, bro. And like, like I listen to the Rory and Maul podcast sometimes, and like when this
Shout
whole
out to
thing,
Rory Maul.
yeah, shout out to them. I do listen to them a lot, and I remember when this whole thing happened, Maul said that J. Cole's career is over, and everybody just blacked out. I'm like, no, his career ain't over. That's over exaggeration, and it is to an extent. But the fact that this song came out, and as amazing as this song is, what are people talking about? They are still talking about what he did. This is just a blemish he can never erase, man. It destroyed his reputation. It really did. It destroyed it. It destroyed it, bro. And it's just no excuse for it, man. Like, and I'm just not giving J. Cole that bail of, well, he knew it was going to get toxic. He knew all, like, bro, like at the time when he did that, it wasn't toxic yet. Nobody said nothing toxic yet. So, you know what I'm saying? Like this idea that it's going to get crazy. Like, no, he didn't know that.
Hey, yo, and this is what I'm saying, dog. How didn't he know it was going to get toxic? How didn't he know it was going to get like? Come on, dog. Like how can he think like? Before, I'm talking about before he decided to diss. How do you know that? How do you not know that it's going to go viral and people going to be talking about? How do you not know? And I truly believe though that because J. Cole didn't cross no lines with family or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kendrick would have stayed there. Like one thing we always talk about when Drake made it about family, Kendrick had one in the clip. He had expected Drake to go there. You know what I'm saying? And he made it worse when he did. So, but I don't see J. Cole like talking about his wife
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't see J. Cole being that. And I don't see Kendrick. See, with Kendrick and Drake, it got personal. I don't
Yeah.
necessarily see it getting personal with J. Cole and Kendrick. I feel like it would just been hip hop. You know what I mean? Because J. Cole there's a certain level of class that J. Cole has. Drake is willing to hit below the belt. J. Cole is more of a classier, respectful from the hood type dude. Like J. Cole done been hitting his mouth for talking about somebody's mother before. So he knows it can happen. You know, like Drake don't really know it can happen.
Yeah, see,
You
I
know,
don't
he
know.
grew up
I
in
don't
the
know about
grass.
that, Kurt. I don't know about that, Kurt. You know, in a battle, man, it just kind of is what it is. Like in a
Yeah,
battle,
that's
because
good.
somebody's always gonna take it somewhere that makes the next person take it further. So I don't really know that.
But it has to be that. It has to be that.
What you think about Common? Common don't come off as that kind of dude. But when Cube tests him, like, man, you a Muslim
Yeah,
drinking
that's
Jew.
true. You know what? That's absolute fact. That is
Hypocrite. I signed
absolute
your death
fact.
certificate.
That is absolute fact. So
Yeah,
that's a great point. That's a
yeah,
great point.
yeah. So, but I'm just saying that, like, at the time when he backed out, nothing was crazy yet. So I'm just not taking that as an excuse, man. Like, we can still love J. Cole, and I still love J. Cole. I'm hyped for the album. I'm hyped for the song, but I don't disagree with Fat Joe said. Aside from the whole, I don't care what he spit. I disagree with that. Like, it does matter what he says, but it's a blemish, dog. It's a blemish. Like, he can't erase it. It's gonna be. It's part of his legacy. Like, that is part of J. Cole's legacy, man. Just like Kevin Durant going to Golden State, like, that's part of his legacy. So when you debating Kevin Durant and somebody wants to say they think Kevin Durant is top whatever, if you disagree with them, you are going to bring up the Golden State thing. You're just going to do it. There's no possible
Yep.
way you're not bringing it up. And so if
Yep.
somebody wants to debate J. Cole versus whoever, if you talking to a hardcore Drake stan, and they trying to say J. Cole's better than Drake and somebody else says Drake is better, you know good and damn well they're going to say, well, my guy steps up to the plate when it's a battle.
Yep.
My guy steps out into the yard.
Even though
Your
J.
guy,
Cole is a world class better lyricist than Drake,
absolutely.
they still gonna say Drake battle. That's crazy.
Yeah, they still gonna say, "Hey, well, my guy steps out." Stan, what you think? Stan's face.
I don't give a fuck about it. I just don't care.
That's crazy, Stan. That's part of
Again,
hip hop, bro.
okay, it's part of hip hop, but it's part of hip hop from the past, bro. It's just not for me. It's not that important. It's not. It was back then. Don't get me wrong. It was back then because everybody was fucking doing it. Everybody was sending subliminals and sending shots and doing all this other stupid shit, and all it was just divisive and dividing hip hop. I just don't care about that now. And I understand. I understand all the stuff that y'all both said. I get it. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't give a fuck. I don't care. All I care about is
my
what is hip hop.
yo.
So Stan, if you telling me if J. Cole makes Sticks and Stones Part 2, niggas don't want no smoke with me. I'm one of them ones. If he makes that song, are you gonna listen to it and not laugh, or are you just gonna listen to the song? Is there gonna be a smirk on your face when he starts saying that?
There's definitely gonna be a smirk on my face. I ain't gonna lie about that.
All right.
I can't. I
At least
think that
much.
for him,
Okay.
I think for him, and I think that's part of where I do agree. He just needs to make innovative music
Yes.
and tell stories.
Yep.
If he focuses on that stuff, then people won't think about the backing out thing. So I think a smart thing for him to do is just tell stories.
Yep.
Tell stories, do
On
concept
my
work.
on my way down. Rest of your
He can do
career.
whatever he wants to do, is whatever. But don't do those battle style records, because when you do that, people are going to bring up that shit.
Yep.
And it's going to take away from his artistry. Just don't do it.
I agree.
Don't do it. And again, I don't know if he's going to have. I don't know. Just the fall off feels more like a concept album.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he's going to do shit like that. And I hope he does it, because if he doesn't, it's going to keep the focus on what I'm doing. Keep the focus on my creativity. Keep the focus on my flows. Keep the focus on the beats. Keep the focus on the subject matter. Just stay away from that balance shit. I do agree with that. I will agree with that with both of y'all. He needs to stay away from that balance shit.
Yeah.
but it's not something I'm thinking about while I'm listening to his music. I ain't thinking not one time I was listening to that record he put out about, damn man, he backed away from Drake and Kid. I don't give a fuck about that now.
Yeah,
That's
it's fair. I got a god brother. I got a god brother, right? He feel like you. He tell me all the time because he like battle rap, but he don't like when rappers diss each other. He feel like if y'all want to diss each other, then go and stand in front of Smack. But if I'm going to download your music, I don't want to hear you dissing another brother. Like he really tells me this the whole time. There's a whole avenue for rappers to go express their feelings to each other. And they could go on stage in front of each other and, and literally do it and throw them bars at each other on stage, but they choose to go to the booth. He really feels like if you're going to diss, just go battle in front of Smack. But if you're gonna give me a song, bro, be creative. That he says that to me all the time, bro. Do
Yeah, I
you
agree
agree
with
with that?
I don't
Do
see.
you
I
agree
don't.
with that?
I can't agree with that.
I agree with that. If you want to do that battling bullshit, do it there. Do it.
Yeah.
If you want to do that street bullshit, do it there.
Yeah, but
If
then you
you
lose.
if I'm investing my time and energy into your music by listening to an album, I don't want to hear that shit. If you're gonna
So
do that shit, go to the avenue to do that. At. Go to the crowd, go to the avenue, but do it there.
y'all wouldn't want the Bridges Over to be part of hip hop history.
Well, Reggie, but you gotta understand look, Reggie, every time I say that to him, stuff like that, you know what he say? This would be his response every time I say that. Like subliminals, that's a part of hip hop. You know what he tell me? Battle rap is so much bigger now than it was when we was kids, bro. We only got battle raps on DVDs. He got a whole like mindset about it, like, bro. And he said something to me. He said, "Do you know how much money Drake and Kendrick would have made if they'd have did that face to face?"
Oh, I agree with that. That's true. That's true.
It's a whole arena now. It's a whole genre now, Reggie. Like battle rap was just something we enjoyed. This track was just something we enjoyed. Now it's a whole league. It's a whole corporation now. Like and that's what he always tell me, bro. I said, bro, but think about ain't no half stepping, bro. Think about Compton City G's.
Yeah, you can't.
What are
Yeah,
we
that's
gonna
part
do
of it.
without Ethan Takeover? But
Yeah,
when
that's
I
part
think
of it.
about it, when Ethan Takeover came out, and I think about where battle rap is now, like maybe I don't agree with it. I think the diss track is a part of hip hop.
Yeah, that's part of it.
But I do agree with bro, y'all can easily do this face to face though. You can stare your opponent down. Can you
Yeah.
imagine 50 and Ja Rule in each other's face, dissing each other? Do you know how big that would be?
Well, I mean, they could have did that now because Ja Rule wanted to do a versus against 50, and 50 ain't what they want to do it. They could have did it then. They could have spit them all them songs they did back, and they could spit at each other's face. You know, they could have did that. 50
It's
ain't
too
what they
No,
bad
want.
but I'm talking
nobody
about
cares.
a battle. I'm talking about a battle, like new material. 50 go use his pen, Ja go use his pen, and they both get up with 3 rounds of 24 bars. Bro, that would be huge, yo. That
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Those Kendrick Lamar and Drake battling each other on stage would have did more for hip hop than diss tracks. I do agree with that. It did
I
more
know.
for hip hop to see them two on stage touching mics before they battle than it would a diss track winning a Grammy. Culture wise.
I guess I don't know. I had to think about that honestly, but I will say this: if they did that, man, they would have promoted that like it would be like a boxing fight, bro. That shit would have been. They could have made buku bucks. Netflix and Amazon would have just had a blank check. Whatever y'all want for that, just write the number right here, and we'll give it to y'all.
We'll give
Whatever the
it to
number,
you.
just write it here for sure.